It's time now for a look at the press with Elitsa Gadeva, and the papers are talking about Russia's internet crackdown.
That's right, Oliver. Let's start by taking a look at the New York Times here that writes that anger about internet restriction breathes some life into Russian politics. And that's not an easy task in a country like Russia. The paper reminds that when Russia invaded Ukraine, for example, security services kept a lid on public dissent. But when viral apps were censored, many Russians found their voice. And it's not just opposition figures, it's also influencers, normal people, even some TV hosts criticize the restrictions, and that's rare in Russia as its political system no longer allows for genuine opposition, explains the New York Times. And Russians even tried to hold some protests in some Russian cities, but they were blocked by the authorities. Containing people online, however, is more complicated, and Russian independent paper Novaya Gazeta reports that VPN downloads have surged 14 times amid internet restrictions, and in March VPNs were downloaded more than 9 million times from Russia, and experts say that the restrictions have backfired. Now Russians use major platforms less often rather than abandoning their VPNs, and the paper reminds that the Kremlin has taken quote, extensive steps to curb internet access and to restrict reach to a state-approved so-called whitelist of websites and services.
And speaking about the internet and restricted websites, in France, a website linked to the Gisèle Pellicot mass rape case has resurfaced online.
Yeah, that's right. French daily Le Parisien reports that the website Coco is back online, and so that's the website that enabled Dominique Pellicot to recruit dozens of strangers who raped his drugged wife, Gisèle Pellicot, and the website was shut down in June 2024 after it was accused of facilitating sex crimes, but now it reappeared under a new name. France's Commissioner for Children reacted, saying that this is a slap in the face to the promise of protection, and now its reopening is being investigated.
Moving on to something different, papers are talking about some emerging work trends.
That's right. Well, a Glamour magazine here writes about what it calls promotion burnout, or the reason why so many women no longer want to climb the career ladder. And it cites a British study that surveyed more than 1,000 women about their career ambitions, and 50% of them said that they are no longer motivated and they have little to no ambition to climb the career ladder. And Glamour says that the promotion burnout might seem like the latest buzzword after trends like quiet quitting and toxic resilience, but the magazine says that we should pay very close attention because it shows a widening gap between female and male motivation, and the bottom line is that women are aiming for promotions less often than men are. And it asks the question, why? Are they just less ambitious? Well, no, women have just found out and understood that for them it's way harder to get those promotions at the workplace. And the magazine cites a study by Yale University from 2021 that shows that women are 14% less likely to be promoted than men. And I want to show you another interesting article about work-life culture. Times Now reports about the hidden burnout crisis among Gen Z employees. And the article explains that Gen Z people entering the workforce bring a lot of energy, adaptability, and strong digital skills, but they are faced with an always-on culture. That's how Times Now calls it, and that's very high expectations, 24/7 connectivity thanks to WhatsApp groups, Slack channels, emails flowing in their email boxes all the time, lack of clear guidance, and long hours expected from them because they are junior. And this all impacts their mental health, and many Gen Z professionals experience burnout symptoms within just a few years of starting work, and that's earlier than reported. And experts say that the inability to disconnect means that the brain can never get a true break.
And finally, you found a story about an unusual arrest in Sri Lanka.
That's right. The Guardian here reports that 22 Buddhist monks have been arrested at the Colombo airport. They were found with 110 kilograms of cannabis. And the Guardian writes that this is the largest ever drug bust at the airport. And each of them was carrying around 5 kilos of kush. And they were back from a holiday, a 5-day holiday in Bangkok. And the article explains that they were probably organized by a 23rd monk who is older than them because they were all juniors who organized that operation. And according to the police, he told the other monks that the parcels are a donation. I wonder for who.
Well, a reminder to be very wary of anyone asking you to carry anything while traveling.
Even monks.
Yes. Thank you very much for that, Elitsa Gadeba.